And with that, she's dropping her mic and leaving the building.
Oh, I love that when you said that, I rushed and she mic drop and she's out.
She
That's so funny because at the very beginning, I am going to comment on all that, but before Cindy and I came in, once again, we looked at Cindy checked to see if there was a message, and Pele just said, we're going to have fun again today. And I said that Pele, when I said that she wasn't going to top last week's message for me, that Pele probably said, hold my beer. Hi, everyone. I'm Colleen.
and Cindy here.
Thanks for joining us for episode 8 of Earth's History Explained by a Light Being. Once again, our recurring guest, the amazing light being who once incarnated as Pele, so we call her Pele, will be joining us. She's been our guest on this entire series, and she's been sharing information about Earth's history, but she's also been telling us some super exciting things that are coming up in Earth's future as well. So I can't wait to see what we're going to learn today, and I'll pass things over to you, Cindy, to get our first part of our message.
Okay, thank you. And yeah, and I've wondered, like, because they sort of led us to call it Earth's history. Like she said that we were going to be talking about Earth's history, but I guess to her, it all is Earth's history.
I didn't
Even
think
though for us, it's the future.
I was thinking the same thing. I was wondering if, so the way we named this series, we tell you that in the EH1 episode, well, this whole why we have this channel was because we were guided by messages that Cindy channeled for us. And they gave us the name of this series. And so I keep wondering if they're going to tell us to change the name of the series, to like Earth's future, but they haven't. So here we are on Earth's history.
No, and like I said, I think
that's an interesting perspective.
Yeah.
I like that.
So I'm gonna light my candle, and with this I bring in my angels and their energy.
It won't light. Oh, there we go.
Because my angels are always here. They step aside to allow someone, another being of light, to come in. So, and Pele is an old friend of mine. We have a wonderful connection. I just love her. Okay, so as always, use your own discernment with these messages. Take what you like, leave the rest, pick and choose. And I'm so excited to see what Pele has to say today.
And you're going to see me, I type a little bit while Cindy's getting the message. And there've been a couple questions in the comments about this. So I'm not typing a transcript. I can't do that. I type some notes for Cindy and I, or things I want to ask and stuff like that. But at the bottom of the description, I think, right, Cindy? At the bottom of the description on this video, there is a place where you can ask YouTube to show you a transcript.
Yes. Yeah. And if you want to speed up, especially the channeling part, in the there's a little cogwheel up here on YouTube, and if you click that, you can speed up the playback, which is I enjoy doing that now.
Yeah, I do that all the time.
Different videos that I watch. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. So the pendulum is perfectly still. This tells me that my angels have stepped aside and someone else is here. This is Pele. Hello, Pele. I have some information today that will help you to understand what your life on Earth will look like once the Great Awakening has occurred for you. You will be able to return to this side of awareness anytime you wish. And you will not lose any time on earth. When you return to earth, you will be able to change your life in amazing ways. On this side of awareness, you will make plans and you will set the manifestation process in motion. And then, in Earth's energy, you will be able to bring that manifestation energy into form. This will allow you to create the life of your dreams. This will happen after you experience your great awakening and you have access to this side of awareness and you retain your conscious awareness of this side of awareness. There are many questions about how that will unfold and how will you make a living, and will you need a job, and will you have your family around you, and will your pets be with you? There are many questions, and I will answer these today. This great awakening moment will change you drastically, and you will become who you truly are. Who you truly are is all of your past life experiences combined together, as well as all your love energy from your soul and your soul's growth and learning. This is who you truly are. This is who you will become and still be incarnated on earth. This has never happened in Earth's universe. This is the success of this Earth experiment. Earth has been through 2 previous incarnations, and both of those incarnations failed. They did not fail because of darkness or because people couldn't see the light. They failed because people were unable to achieve the ability to retain their conscious awareness of this side of awareness after they were able to see this side of awareness. I will explain further. So, in the previous incarnations of Earth, people arrived here with the idea that they would have an easy time achieving this ability to retain conscious awareness of this side of awareness once they achieved the ability to see this side of awareness. However, that was not the case. It proved to be much more difficult to retain a conscious awareness of this side of awareness. This was something that was not expected with the first incarnation of Earth. Then, the second incarnation proved to have the same result. Then, in this third incarnation of Earth, we recruited many high-level souls to incarnate on Earth and help it to succeed. This has indeed worked, and Earth is a huge success. This is what is making the Great Awakening process possible. Without retaining the conscious awareness of this side of awareness, there is no Great Awakening. That is what happened in the first two incarnations of Earth. Now, you might think that if Earth had just continued in those first incarnations, it would have eventually been successful. That was not possible either, because as the Earth experiment continued, more and more people were getting stuck in their karmic cycles. And without the ability to retain conscious awareness of this side of awareness, it was impossible to help those people. This incarnation of Earth has achieved this ability, and this is what will help those people. The high-level souls who were recruited to help Earth succeed have worked through many, many, many lifetimes of spiritual learning. And they have dedicated these lifetimes, most often in solitary living, to focus on their spiritual practice and achieve this ability to retain a conscious awareness of this side of awareness. This was the experiment, to see if people could see the light and choose the light and retain their awareness of this side of awareness once being able to see this side of awareness. This was the experiment. It was not just about choosing light over darkness. It was about being able to become consciously aware of this side of awareness. This has been achieved by a few high-level souls on Earth. There were many, many, many high-level souls recruited for this purpose, and their life purpose was to achieve this ability. These many, many, many souls were given this opportunity to achieve this ability. This ability proved to be even harder to achieve than we thought. Only a handful of souls has achieved this ability to retain their conscious awareness of this side of awareness. This was a surprise to us. This is a more powerful experiment than we ever thought. This experiment has taught us more than you can imagine. And this will become a huge success. The success is even sweeter because of challenges and the unknown level of difficulty that was experienced in making this happen. So, there is a handful of high-level souls that have achieved this ability, and they are going to have their great awakening moment before the mass awakening. These souls will have their great awakening moment, and they will have a beautiful moment of celebration. Then these souls will be able to help the people in the mass awakening. These souls will be there to hold open the doors and share this knowledge key with others so that they may also retain their conscious awareness of this side of awareness. Then, after the mass awakening, every person who has their great awakening experience will awaken with someone with them. This someone will share their knowledge keys with them so they retain their conscious awareness of this side of awareness. This is how the world will awaken. Every person on earth will have a great awakening moment, and they will share this moment with another person who will share their knowledge key of retaining conscious awareness with them. This is a beautiful and love-filled process. And this is a huge blessing to every soul in all that is. Once this awakening process has begun, the intensity will pick up as the majority in the middle begins to awaken. This majority in the middle holds a lot of karma right now. And this majority in the middle will begin clearing their karma in a massive wave of clearing after the mass awakening has settled into their lives, and they begin to share their healing keys and knowledge keys with others. Okay, she's taking a break.
Good, because that was a lot. And I have questions. Wow. Okay, I got so caught up in the second part. I have to look at my notes that I forget what happened in the first part. Well, I know that happens to you too.
Oh, all the time. But right now, I can't even remember anything she said except for the last part.
Oh, I wrote a note to say, Haley's reading the comments again. She said she was going to answer a whole bunch of questions that have come in recent. By the way, thank you for all the comments and all the engagement and your thoughts. And I swear that's what she's reading the comments, because she's never actually blatantly said that, but she listed some things, many questions about how you'll make a living, will you need a job, have your family around you, pets, all that kind of stuff. So I'm looking forward to, I imagine she's going to get into some of that later.
Yeah, and I think that's why she said it there. It's kind of like, I'm going to talk about this, but I'm going to talk about this other stuff first.
Yes. Oh, the part about being able to, about how, because actually, we were just talking about this on our walk yesterday, about but how am I going to, manifest my dream life on this side?
Yes.
And it was that, because in previous videos, she's talked about how, of course, manifestation is the first part I'm going to bring up to talk about. But in previous videos, she's talked about how when we have access to the other side of awareness, when we've had our great awakening, we're going to be creating without karma. So when we're on the other side, like we're going to be creating our life. Like, sorry?
Creating from desire rather than creating from growth.
That's what she said. Yeah. And so we're able to do it better anyway. And so, yeah, so I guess we're going to go over and, plan like, what I want, like my place bush with the fire pit and like all that stuff. And then somehow come back and you'll set the manifestation process in motion. So then somehow when I come back, pop back over into this side, I guess like the coincidences will start to happen, like the kind of things that happen. What's that?
I think she'll explain more about that. I'm hoping anyway.
I don't know. Okay, perfect. And then about the knowledge keys. Now you talked to me about knowledge keys, but it hasn't come through on this channel yet.
Yeah.
So we've got two different kinds of keys, right? We have healing keys and knowledge keys. Do you want to talk about that? Sure. Or do you want to wait for Pele? Okay, go.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Because so healing keys are things that we achieve because we've experienced a trauma or a certain, challenging experience. And then we've healed from that. And so once that happens, then now we carry a healing key that we can share with others to help them boost their healing experience with similar karma, with a similar traumatic experience. A knowledge key is something, it doesn't have anything to do with trauma, right? But it's like they said here, that there were certain high-level souls, and this information just came to me recently about that Earth did not fail because of darkness overtook the Earth kind of thing. The failure was that we didn't achieve this ability to retain our conscious awareness of the other side. And so they recruited a whole bunch of super high level souls to come in to see if we can achieve that. And it's proven more difficult than we even realized, even once we realized it was a problem and was difficult. Because she said they've recruited a whole bunch and only a handful actually developed this ability. So these souls spent lifetimes and lifetime after lifetime in, solitude and solitary living, looking within is how they've described it to me in another message. And as they looked within, they were able to see the other side of awareness, but they couldn't retain that conscious memory of it until finally a few of them did. And that's why we're able to have this mass awakening, or this great awakening, this awakening process on Earth. So that was something that they achieved. It was a piece of knowledge that they achieved. And so they call that a knowledge key. So when you learn something that wasn't necessarily a traumatic experience that you had to heal from, anything that you've learned throughout all of your lifetimes becomes a knowledge key that you can share with others. So the difference is just that one is sort of a traumatic experience and healing, and the other one is through knowledge and learning and growth. And you've learned that, and so that becomes something that you can share as well.
So these, thank you. So these few individual souls, individuals though, when they're incarnated, she's saying achieve, and you said achieve this ability. I'm having trouble just getting a picture of that. First of all, are they talking about in this lifetime, or this might have happened in past lifetimes? And like, it's making me think of monks, like sitting in solitude, and you know what I mean? But I thought that nobody yet was able to see the other side of awareness. Do you know what I'm saying? Like that's the whole idea with the awakening, is that we're going to get access to the other side of awareness. And so how did they, okay, go.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't have all the answers to that.
I know.
I think that because there will be probably people that will disagree now and say that they've seen the other side and they remember seeing the other side and all that. But I think that there's it's hard to explain. I think we can have experiences that are still not exactly seeing the other side of awareness. You know what I mean? Like, I think we can feel like we've seen something or accessed something. And I'm not saying that people aren't accessing things, but I just think that it's different from what they're explaining here now. And I can't, maybe she'll explain it better, but I can't really
Yes.
explain it. But I feel the understanding of this in my body. I can't express it, but I feel it.
Well, I wonder, oh, go ahead.
No,
Sorry.
forget
If
it.
it would help to relate it to, sorry, well then maybe I interrupted for reasons, sorry.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
When we talked about, because we just talked about this yesterday too, and this just happens a lot, is why I just wanted to get it in, because it may change how you're, okay, explaining this. We were talking about the difference between having an awakening and having your great awakening and the mass awakening yesterday when we were walking. Like, so
Yes.
so your awakening, you know, I mean, for us, that was, I guess, 30 years ago, but I didn't call it that. And people talk about having their awakening 3 years ago and things like that. And that's when you just kind of went, there's more going on here.
Yes.
And started through this growth process of understanding more and more that there's more going on here. So kind of like mini awakening.
Yes.
As opposed to great awakening, which is apparently when you just like, oh,
yes,
I can see it all now. There it is.
Exactly.
So that's what I
maybe,
was saying is maybe the people, maybe what you're trying, is this what you're trying to say?
well, yeah, so maybe that's what I'm feeling, is that people have been able to get glimpses.
Yes.
And see a little piece and retain that, but nobody's been able to see everything on the other side and retain that.
Okay.
Until now. Like, and so your first question was, did these people achieve this in a past life? And my answer would be, I believe so. Like, this is something, it's kind of like I was thinking about it. So that's interesting that I was thinking about it. Just today when I took my dog for a walk, because I was thinking, I don't think that this is something they achieved for the first time in this lifetime, because it feels to me like they want, especially seeing how difficult it's proven to be, they wanted to make sure that we had achieved this before we got into this lifetime. You know, and so I likened it to arriving at the airport. You have a flight at 4 o'clock.
I get it.
It's like, okay, we're going to arrive the day before so that we know that we're there and we're ready. So that's the lifetime before, right? Rather than I'm going to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and I'm going to drive to the airport. Like, the airport's 4 hours away, because that's the airport's 4 hours away for me, the Toronto airport. Rather than waiting to the last second, and what if something happens and I don't get there, you know?
Yes. Yeah,
So,
yeah.
So I feel like these achievements were done in past life. Also, they said it was in lifetimes where they were super spiritual and spent all these lifetimes alone and all of that. So I think it was something that's like, okay, yeah, we got it. We did this. We're ready. And then
Like a trial run. It just the thing just popped into my head. Although the words I were going to use was very Canadian, so I was going to say it's like getting your G2 and then getting your G. So, so like your learner's permit, driver's license are these glimpses. You know, like you get when you have a learner's permit, like get to do some of the things, and you successfully do some of the things, and some of them you botch up a little bit, and then later you get your. You know what I'm trying to say? Then later you get your full-on license. You can do all the things. You're free to go.
Yes.
Because you on your other channel, Lady of the Forest 444, your angels have talked about glimpses and about us getting glimpses of the other side of awareness and of what your life's going to be like, and all these different glimpses. Because I do want to, I don't mean that we have to ask her right now, but I want to throw in for when Pele comes back in. Am I correct in thinking or assuming, based on all the messages, that in this current lifetime on Earth, no one has yet had their great awakening?
That's what I would assume.
Okay, you're feeling the same thing.
Well,
there've been awakening. We've had our G2.
Yeah, and so like you said earlier, like the awakening process is a process. You know, we become aware that there's more of life, and that's what a lot of people are saying. I had my awakening, and some people have just always been aware, and so they didn't have an awakening moment, a beginning awakening moment. But it's a journey, and we constantly, as we discover more about ourselves, about our true selves, our past lives, our abilities, as we discover more about our connections with each other, past life connections, whatever they might be, our karma, as we discover more about the world and beyond what sort of we're normally aware of, that's all part of this awakening process. Like, it's unfolding and we're growing and growing and growing. But then, yeah, we get to this moment of the great awakening moment. So I would say that I don't think that nobody's had their great awakening moment, except for now she said that there are going to, because the mass awakening hasn't happened. At least I'm not aware of the mass awakening having happened. But now she said that a few souls are going to have their great awakening moment before the mass awakening. So,
Yes.
I mean, I don't know if they've already had their great awakening moment, although I guess really she said that this all sort of gets triggered with Pele's conception.
Yes.
So then thinking of that, I would say probably not.
So
Let's see what
maybe,
she says.
yeah, I do. So I want to confirm that with her as well. Thank you for that explanation. Yeah. So because now the new information that just came in the last part of this channel, was that, like, this handoff, like, it reminds me of that commercial years ago, and she told two friends and she told two friends, and so on and so on and so on. And Google it, it'll come up, the commercial will come up. So, this handoff of the keys. So this handful of, my notes again, but I got to try and, okay. This handful of high level souls that have achieved this ability before, like you said, in the trial runs, and then they're going to have their great awakening moment before the mass awakening, because then they're going to be there to hand the knowledge key off, like the baton in a marathon or whatever, anyway, to gift someone with this knowledge key, and then they have their great awakening, and then that person has that knowledge key, right, and can pass it on to somebody else. Like, I love this buddy system thing.
Yes.
That's new. And then that's, well, somehow the few that are having that moment will trigger the mass awakening, because it said then after the mass awakening is when this passing of the baton thing starts to happen, right?
Yeah, on a more
cool.
like individual basis.
Yeah.
People will still be having their awakenings together because it's around the world, but
Yeah,
it won't be like the mass awakening is a whole bunch in the course of a few days.
yeah. So they're a handful of high level souls that have achieved this ability, and they're going to have their great awakening moment before the mass awakening.
Yeah.
They'll have a celebration. Then they will be able to help the people in the mass awakening.
Yeah.
So they're there to hold open the doors.
Yeah.
I want to be a door holder, but I'll take being part of the mass awakening. That's fine. Having the door held open for me. And they'll share their knowledge key with others, like as they're coming through the door, I guess, like as people reach ready to come through the door, you're passing out your knowledge key. And then, after the mass awakening, like the people who've awakened will come back and individually help. But like you said, when we say individually, it might be 10 people at once or 1,000, like there's
exactly
people on the planet.
Yeah,
but
it's like babies are born individually around the world, but there's a whole bunch born at the same moment.
Anyway, the whole thing is fascinating.
Yeah, it is very fascinating. Okay, are we ready to dive back in?
Yes.
Okay. So this is Pele. I will clarify a few things. This handful of high-level souls is an angelic handful. Okay. I'm just laughing because it makes me think of the angelic soon versus our soon. This angelic handful is indeed more than a human handful. This angelic handful is about to have their Great Awakening experience once, and she's done Pele / I, am conceived. This conception and the solar flash that accompanies it will allow for these high-level souls to have their Great Awakening moment. This will happen in a moment that is shared between these people. They will have their Great Awakening moment together, and they will understand and recognize each other when this moment occurs. They will be able to spend time together and enjoy this moment thoroughly and have a very beautiful experience. Then they will return and have a role to play in the months leading up to my birth. That will be a discussion for next time. So now I have another thing to clarify. There will be a flash of light at my conception, and this flash will be seen by people around the world. This flash will not damage the earth or anything in the universe. This flash is a flash of conception. This is a conception from the place where all souls are born. And this conception brings a new love energy to Earth. And this flash signifies this portal opening. In the future, when other babies are born through this portal, there will be a flash as well. However, the flashes after this first one are less noticeable. This one is the most powerful because this portal is opening to its fullest opening. There was a flash with Jesus's conception when he walked the earth as Jesus. However, that flash was not as big as this one will be, because the portal did not stay open after Jesus's conception. This time, the portal will remain open. The idea that knowledge keys are shared with people who are in a connection with each other is a beautiful expression of love energy. This is something that happens because love energy is shared. When a person connects with another person, they share their love energy imprint with that person. A connection may be as simple as a smile. However, a deeper connection does indeed allow the knowledge keys and healing keys to go deeper into a person's body. So a smile will give that person a shallow access to your healing keys and knowledge keys, while a longer and deeper connection, especially one involving some vulnerability, will lead to a deeper sharing of the healing keys and knowledge keys. Vulnerability is experienced when you open your heart. And when you open your heart, you allow the healing keys and knowledge keys to get further into your body. So, a connection may be simple, and a connection may be more intense. A connection with someone with an open heart will lead to the most powerful sharing of love energy of all the connections. Okay, she's taking a break. So that's nice to get that confirmation, because we just talked about this yesterday.
I was wondering if you're gonna, I'm just gonna let you go. Go. I know. I was like, is she gonna talk about tell the story? So
Yeah,
cool.
so yeah. And yeah, it's so cool. So I was out for a walk with my dog, and my dog, Amber, she's special. She carries a wonderful love energy imprint with her that people just recognize, and they interact with her, and so therefore they interact with me, because I am not like Colleen. Colleen will start up a conversation with anybody anywhere. Like, she's just amazing at that. I am not. I am quite quiet out in public. But Amber is, of course, helping me to connect with people as I go around. Anyway, so I was out for a neighborhood walk, came across this man that I know he's lived there forever. And I know recently he was in a wheelchair because I saw them making alterations to his house and all that. But this is the first time I've seen him outside in his wheelchair. So he was outside in his wheelchair and he has his leg is amputated around the knee, pretty much at the knee, I think. Anyway, so he was out, and of course he sees Amber coming, and Amber's all happy and bounding up to him. So I let her go because this is what she does. So she went up to him, he was open to it, it was all good. And then he like Amber went right up to right up to his leg, his stump. And I also, my brother has his leg amputated, so I'm a little bit familiar with that. So it
Comfortable.
yeah, I'm more comfortable, I guess, than other people might be. And also I totally was just in this zone of being led by my guidance, right? So I didn't pull her away until he was encouraging her to come. So I let her go. And she went right up to him and she literally stuck her nose right on his stump and was sniffing, like, what is this? Like, you're different from other people. And in that moment, it was like the three of us connected on a more intimate level. But intimate's the wrong word because that implies
Vulnerable.
like romance, right? But yeah, on a deeper level, that because it was like it was vulnerable. So his heart opened, right? And as this little puppy is sniffing his leg. So it created this opening between us. And then later on, like as I'm walking around his house, because his house is on the corner, and as I'm sort of walking around, we're having a bit of a conversation. And he turned to the weather, of course, because the weather's been a big topic this year because it's been so unusual. We haven't had the cold and we haven't had the snow and all that. And he just expressed like fear around that, like this is a bad thing, the planet's doomed kind of thing. And I also don't normally, like I would just normally nod and smile and go on my merry way, but instead I just said something, and I don't remember exactly what my words were, but I said something along the lines of like, what if it doesn't have to? What if something beautiful can happen? Like, what if something amazing is going on instead, right? Like, what if we're okay, basically? And he just kind of looked at me and he went, oh. He said, well, that's interesting because I guess I always look at everything from a negative point of view. And then he said something to like that he's going to try not to do that. And I walked away. And I was saying to Colleen, I said, like, it feels like because we had this moment, it feels like what I said went deeper into him. And I literally said that to her yesterday. It went deeper into him because we had this moment together. And then now that's what they're saying is happening. That when someone has an open heart through their vulnerability and are willing to trust and sort of get close to another person that way, yeah, that your knowledge keys and your healing keys could go deeper.
Right?
Because when he said this, it was like a light bulb all of a sudden went off and he realized, he's like, oh, I guess I always see everything through a negative lens.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's so like, because when we were talking yesterday and you were telling the story, I'm the one with the, like the arm gestures and everything all the time. And you did that a whole
Yes.
bunch of times. You did this, like you were like, it's like it went deeper in. And she just said that, like, it's the key is what you were doing there.
Yeah.
We didn't know. Like, we have these conversations. And then, like I said, often Cindy, our guides or Pele or whatever, it'll come out later that of whatever, why we were talking about it. But because you did that and you were saying that it went in deeper. And it's because he was open. And also he was talking to somebody with perhaps a more open heart than he had, like, you know what I mean? So oh my goodness.
And Amber opens hearts.
Oh,
I know she does. I know she does.
And I think you posted Amber on your other channel. And if you can go back and look for a picture of Amber on Cindy's other, Amber is exactly like that. She's just hi, with all this love energy. But sorry, hang on. I lost my train of thought, but I want to say it. Oh, so this has been a theme for us for a really long time. It's one of the first 12 things you and I discussed, I think back, 27 years ago when we first started our journey together, about fear-based. That's what I'm talking about,
Okay.
where I'm going. So it's something that has been, right? It's been an underlying knowledge for us for that long, and definitely not underlying knowledge for everyone. So, so I'm figuring it's a knowledge key that maybe one of us shared with the other, I don't know, but anyway, or we developed together. But Cindy and I, well, I'm going to talk for you, but I think I can on this topic. Cindy and I have talked way back then about the idea, and I don't know if we read it somewhere or came up with it ourselves or whatever, of analyzing any thoughts or concepts or facts or news item, whatever. And we came up with this sort of mantra: if it's fear-based, it's not for me. Like if it's fear-based, it's not quite real, because everything is love-based.
Yeah.
And so fear-based, so that has changed our lives and thinking for almost 30 years. Like affected, whatever, directed, and allowed me to analyze things. And not that doesn't mean I don't get into fear, but then I go, wait, I'm having fear-based thoughts. Let's reframe it and really look at it. So like, I see where, and now I deeply believe that is a fundamental underlying concept that, so there's a lot of things in the news and in politics and in spiritual theory and in all kinds of stuff that in the take what you like and leave the rest thing. Yeah. So if I sense that it's fear-based, if in some way it comes from like, in some way, this is going to suck. Yeah. Or, you know what I mean? This is going to cause whatever. I in some way discard it. Yes. Like when we got, so what I'm saying is I see how you had that knowledge key. I see how we have had that knowledge key for years. Yeah. And the opportunity came up for you to directly share it with him, Yeah. And it worked. Like you watched him maybe he doesn't every thought he has now. He's not analyzing it, but maybe he is. Like you just opened it. That's what I was doing when you were talking. I was doing like a door opening on his mind to the possibility that he can look and go like, well, what if it's not the demise of the earth? Exactly. What if we could just enjoy the weather? Like here, anyway, it's not the case everywhere. I know it's too hot some places but here where winter's usually -40 for quite a while and snow up over your doorway, I quite enjoyed it. Sorry. Okay.
A lot of people did.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also, I just want to also point out that on this journey of analyzing things for whether they're fear-based or not.
Yes.
There have also been times when it's like, I know that this is fear-based, but I can't.
Yes.
Like I just have to make this decision this way because I can't get past the fear.
Yes.
And that's honoring where you are, right? Like
absolutely.
You have this ideal, because again, like we've been doing this for a long time. So you have this ideal that I should live my life not in fear, except that fear is also part of our karma, right? And it's getting released. But yeah, so sometimes it would be like, I know that I'm doing this out of fear, but oh well.
Yes, or not doing something, or even just like a safety matter in 3D in life here, like I don't know.
Exactly. But we try to look at everything and make that decision consciously.
Yes. And sometimes I make the fear-based decision knowing that probably if I didn't, it would work out fine. Yes. It'll be fine, but I can't. Like I just can't. You're right. And raising my kids, right? Like there's things I can't just let them do.
Yeah. We have to honor where we are.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, you're right. And in the whatever video it was that talked about the one of the early EH videos talked about the negative alien experience.
Yes.
And when that message was first coming in, when you were channeling it, I was in like, wait a minute. That's fear-based. Like, what do we do? What? And then though, it turned right in the middle of the message, it turned to love-based, right? Like, so but it was going to happen to clear fear karma and then raise the love vibration. I'm paraphrasing the love vibration to help with the upcoming mass awakening. And I was just like, oh, okay, well now I can go there. See, like there's a love-based yeah, anyway, she wasn't telling us it so that we could all be quaking in fear.
Exactly.
So I was glad to hear that.
And
So,
my angels have explained that with the whole discernment thing, right? That with feeling something and deciding whether it's for you or not, they've said that we can bring in new information into our heart space and feel the underlying current of love energy. And that even if a message is difficult to hear, it doesn't mean that it's not from love. You can feel the underlying current of love energy within it, even if
yes.
the message is something that's challenging to hear.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that the only knowledge key is about fear. Like we've gone on about this because that's what happened like just yesterday.
Yeah.
You telling me that story, and I really feel, and this, with you doing this over and over again, I really
know it was like it went into him.
You gave him a knowledge key that just went right in there. So there are all kinds of knowledge keys, right? Like the knowledge key that she was really talking about in this channel is the knowledge key of being able to retain.
Yes.
How did she say that? To retain
The
awareness
conscious
of the other side.
The conscious awareness of
The other side of awareness when we come back over to this side of awareness. So that's another knowledge key.
Yeah.
And there are, and you've talked about, I think you had some in some of your private readings, there's stuff about other knowledge key. Like there are all kinds of knowledge keys.
Oh yeah. Yeah, exactly.
We're just kind of making some examples.
Yeah.
So I made a couple of notes of things I wanted to say. Just interesting that the whole passing the baton thing, the whole story you just told, the whole thing just so illustrates the need for human connection, right? And vulnerability. Like, I mean, you can watch a million self-help videos about being vulnerable and being open and all that kind of stuff, but wow, like ever illustrated there. That's really
and
cool.
and none of us are doing this alone. We are all needed to make this a success.
And about saying what you're feeling inspired to say, like you said, that, you know, I'm the one who just talks to people on the street and ends up having these big, deep, whatever.
Yes, you do.
Too detailed conversations or whatever, but not quite exactly something that you do all the time. No. But you heard the need for human connection and vulnerability. And so I think there's a little lesson in there. This isn't a self-help video, folks, but you know, about that is actually not just self-help stuff. That's spiritual need then, because we're passing all these keys on to bring us along in the process. And then she talked about the flash and that, and I was also wondering, like, you know, the story, I don't know all of it, but at Jesus's birth, there was the Star of Bethlehem, right? That brought, anyway, but then she said that there was a flash when he was conceived, but not as many people saw it because it didn't stay open, which is interesting.
Yeah, it's not, it wasn't as big of a flash.
Yeah, it popped into my mind to wonder, I don't know if she'll want to get into that, but to wonder where the story, how we talk about how the stories develop from a little different than what was, of the Star of Bethlehem, you know, if that had something to do with, if it wasn't really a star. And then she talked about, oh my goodness, I was rushing. I typed like rush. Okay, sorry.
That's okay.
The first people who have their great awakening moment, those first few, I was hoping I'm rushing because I'm one, but they recognize each other. That's really why I was rushing. Oh my God, so cool. Because probably they all in the planning phase of the whole experiment got together and they were a team. They had a team meeting. Right? Like they were like, okay, so we're gonna be the ones, blah, 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 blah. And then like, so when they're gonna have their great awakening together, those few. And then they're going to have some time to enjoy the moment. It was just reunion energy again for me. And I was rushing like crazy. And then they returned together and have a role to play in the months leading up to Pele's birth, right? And it was just so cool and then the flash of light thing. And it was lots of rushing happening while you were channeling that part. Very so cool. I'm figuring the same, there might've been reaction from some people watching the video. Mm-hmm. So if I'm part of the team, I'll see you at the team meeting. And if not, please come get me as soon as you're done the team meeting. Bring me over, I want to go. And then the only other thing I wrote down, because it came up in some comments, she may not want to answer, but I think there's some stuff about Pele's conception and birth. Like people ask who the mother, like who exactly the mother's going to be and what exactly country or city they live. But maybe that's fear-based. I speculate that she's not going to reveal that for the privacy of the family. But now she said the flash is a flash of conception. This is a conception from the place where all souls are born. And this people have been asking if there's a father or if it's an immaculate conception. Because I don't even know if sorry, religion. I don't know if I believe that Jesus was an immaculate conception, or if that was the story developed in a day when, premarital conception, extramarital. Anyway, so is there a father? Is there immaculate conception? Does she want to talk about that?
Yeah, no, that is a good question. And I was like you, I didn't really sort of believe the immaculate conception thing too. I thought that was fabricated to make him look like a god, right? But then now with these messages and them coming from the place where all souls are born and that being different, I've opened up to, well, maybe, I don't know. And the fact that they've never mentioned a father, so I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I don't know why I even even though I had the religious background, I don't it's not deep. I don't know all the Bible stories and everything. You know what I mean? Like, because then as you're saying that, I'm thinking, why did I assume Mary and Joseph weren't married? I don't know. Or why did I assume that he wasn't because they wanted to make the father not be anyway.
Well, the father's God. That's
just
why.
An earthly, right? Yeah, exactly. And then I also just wanted to throw to your channel, actually, although I know like a lot of you that are here are here because you were watching Cindy's other channel, Lady of the Forest 444, and she mentioned this channel a few times. But you mentioned the solar flash, and like we don't have time. Well, I don't know, maybe we do, but we could make this video 5 hours long explaining all the terms. But also, even if she gets into it more here, there's some information in several videos, right? In the last, month and a half?
Yeah.
About this solar flash on Cindy's other channel, Lady of the Forest 444.
Yeah, it's in the description below.
There you go.
Yeah, because she talked about the difference in the message I just did yesterday. She talked about, which when this gets posted, it'll probably be 2 days ago. But anyway, she talked about the difference between a solar flash and a solar flare. So yeah.
Yep. And I like that because people had asked that in your comments. And she said now that the flash will not damage the earth or anything in the universe because people said it was going to, I think, right, like knock out all, communicate all kinds of things. So again, perhaps fear-based. It's a really deep and interesting concept once you get into analyzing what's fear-based.
Yes.
Yeah,
it makes you look at everything and see everything differently.
Yeah.
All right, are we ready to dive back in?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, the pendulum is still. This is Pele again. Now I'm going to move forward into the information about what you will experience in your life on Earth after you have your Great Awakening moment. When you return to Earth, you will be in the same place and time as you were when you left. This first return will be a little unsettling in that you will need a moment to balance yourself again within Earth's energy. This will not be a challenging experience. This will just be a feeling of being a bit off balance. You will quickly rebalance and all will be well. However, this process of awakening to this side of awareness and then returning to Earth's experience will take a moment of solitude to experience. This is not something you will experience while driving or while being in the midst of a conversation with someone else, or while doing anything other than being alone for a moment. This will happen when you have a moment to yourself. So, when you return and take this moment to rebalance and feel into your body for the first time as an awakened soul, you will notice a few changes. There will be no pain, and there will be no awareness of age. There will be only a beautiful and powerful connection with your body in a pure state of love. This will be a profound experience for everyone. And this will be a moment you will remember for all your existence. Take time to feel this moment and enjoy this moment of returning to your body as your true self. This is something you will never experience again for the first time. Enjoy it and lavish in it. So now you want to know the nitty-gritty details of life after the Great Awakening. This is where things get really fun. This is where life becomes what you have thought life should have always been. This is what you came here to experience. So, you will be able to have a life of your dreams in any way you wish. There will be no repercussions from society, and there will be creations in your life that you never thought possible. So, as for your jobs, many people will actually leave their current jobs. However, there are also many people who will stay at their current jobs. This all depends on what people wish to accomplish after their Great Awakening. Many people who stay are going to stay because they want to help their work environment and work mates to have a boost in their own spiritual journeys. Others that leave are leaving to accomplish that somewhere else. This will be an individual choice, and there will be no difficult feelings or hard experiences because you no longer live in karma. If you decide to stay or leave, it will be because that is truly what you wish to do. You will have a higher perspective on life, and you will understand the big picture. However, you will also not ever feel like you need to do something. You will feel like you want to do something. Need is karma. Want is dharma. So, there is no way to know if you will choose to stay or leave, because this is a decision you will make once you have your Great Awakening experience. This is not something that is planned already, except for a few small numbers of people who already have a bit of a plan for their desires after the Great Awakening moment. However, those plans are not like karma, and those plans may change at any time with no buildup of karma. This new world experience will be unlike anything you have experienced on Earth. And this will feel free and amazing in so many ways. It is unlike anything you have experienced. This idea that you can change your mind in any moment and there are no repercussions. This is an unfamiliar feeling to you now. However, it will become a familiar feeling very quickly, because this is how your soul lives on this side of awareness. There is never any forcing of a soul to keep to any plan they have made. If a plan crumbles between two souls, they both understand the big picture, and they both move on without any hard feelings or difficulty. This is an unfamiliar feeling in Earth's experience. However, you will remember it quickly once you have your Great Awakening experience. So now people are wondering about money. You will still live in this Earth experiment, and you will still need to have money in this experience for a while yet to come. So this is where things can get very interesting. You can create any number of ways to bring money into your life. There is an unlimited number of ways you can accomplish this. You are literally free to create anything you wish and bring it into Earth's experience. Will this lead to amazing new inventions on Earth? Yes. Will this lead to amazing new information being shared on Earth? Yes. Will this lead to the changing of the Earth's experience for many people, even those who are not awake yet? Yes. The possibilities are endless. You will have access to all the knowledge in all that is, and how you wish to share this with the world will be your choice. You will get to express yourself in incredible ways, and you will bring amazing love energy to the Earth. And this is all part of the awakening experience of Earth. Some people will bring forth knowledge about how to deal with the garbage problem on Earth, and this will help them to make money. Others will bring forward knowledge about how to increase health on Earth, and this will help them to make money. Now, don't get worried about this information being held for ransom and brought forward at a huge cost to make it inaccessible to the people who need this information. This information will be brought forward in love. And there is a way to make money from bringing this information forward in a way that gives people access and yet also brings in abundance. There are actually many, many, many ways this can happen. So making money is not evil. Making money is not something to be looked at as a karmic experience. It certainly can be. However, that is not the underlying intention or the pure intention of making money. Money is simply an expression of energy on earth. Love energy is an expression of energy on earth. Money can be an expression of love energy on earth. And money can be an expression of fear energy on earth. And money can be an expression of control energy on earth. Money can be an expression of any energy possible on earth. So money can be an expression of love energy on earth. And this will become more and more dominant as these next decades unfold. Okay, just taking a break. Very interesting.
Right? Answered a few questions I might be hanging around the last few years. Because I typed in my notes when she was talking about some people might want to quit their jobs and some people might want to. Okay, I like my job. I actually am really super inspired by my job. What I'm not super inspired by is the 8:30 to 4:30. You know what I mean? So there's stuff like it. It's not that I hate my job. I don't know. I don't think anybody watches this. I don't really kind of hope nobody watches this for my work. But anyway, they don't, people where I work don't, they know I'm kind of woo-woo, but they don't know about this. So my first thinking was probably I want to leave I at least don't want to do it, 8:30 to 4:30, Monday to Friday. But then I typed, but how will I pay my rent? Like how will I, but that's what she's saying is they're just going to be like, just forget about it. It's fine. It's going to be fine. Just don't worry about it. Like you're going to find ways
however you want to pay
Yeah.
your rent.
Like I'm just going to find incredible, crazy ways to manifest. Maybe I'll get that.
And things that we can share, information from the other side that we can find a creative way to share that. Holy moly. Yeah, this is incredible. Because we can't even imagine what information there is to share. And I mean, even sharing this information, this is incredible to me.
Well,
Once
yeah.
we get over there, wow, the access that we're going to have.
Yeah. Actually, and good point, like leading into something else I was gonna, when I talk about like the people I work with, when I think about like one day somebody's gonna come across one of these videos and tell two friends at work and fine. I've been at that place for 20 years, so they know. So anyway, it's gonna happen. But they so there's this fear, back to fear, but anyway, this little bit, not really, anyway, a little bit of fear that they're going to think I'm crazy. That's where I'm going. So then I was thinking when she was saying near the end, like that we're going to share all this, so we're going to go over those who have their way to Great Awakening and come back and interact with the people who haven't.
Yes.
And somehow what I got from that is we're going to be real. We're going to be real about it and somehow not be made out to be, hey, you're a little nuts. Pardon for the language about mental health, but you know what I mean.
Yes.
To be taken as whatever, like too woo-woo. So it doesn't sound like that. It's going to be received in love energy.
No, I don't think so. No, I
Oh,
don't
no?
think. Well, yeah, because we just talked about how people's reactions is all about them, not about you.
Oh, before
So
we started recording,
yeah, well, yeah, in our personal conversation. So they could very well have a reaction that you're off your rocker, but it won't affect you like it does now because
yeah, because
you're the
I'll be like,
awakened individual.
it's okay. I'll just be off my rocker at my lakefront home in the woods. I don't want a mansion. I just want a certain, nature based. Anyway, all my lottery winning stuff that I've joked about on here is to get away from the 9 to 5 or the 8:30 to 4. That's why. And so, yeah, you're right. Like, so it won't affect me. Like, I'll just be like, okay, like, thank you for
Exactly.
the input.
Because you'll totally understand that they're reacting from their karma and their own experience. And you will, as much as we try to do that now, we're still in this human experience and we're still in karma. Once we're outside of that, like,
but while they're
this
expressing
won't
that,
phase
I
us.
might be sharing a healing key or a knowledge key with them because we know that, like, I know this in my job and in life, and when you have kids, when you're raising teenagers, like not every, sorry, I love my girls. But we used to talk about, like, how many times in your life are you going to hear your teenager go, you know what, Mom? You're right.
Exactly.
But what you will see is them change their behavior. Or I used to hear them saying what I had said to a friend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, so you may be, even while they're thinking I'm off my rocker and I'm not affected by it because I'm in so much love energy. And I, like I said, just go to my place. I just manifested in the woods. Also, though, they are walking away changed. So yeah, you're right. So it doesn't matter if they think that I'm,
because people are going to have the reactions because the world is still, and like they said, the majority in the middle, right? Like that's a big group of people that are going to be having their awakening. So there's going to be a lot happening, and it's being sort of triggered and healed, like this ripple effect going out all over the place. Yeah, it's going to be pretty wild.
she said there'll be no repercussions from society. So you'd be able to,
Exactly.
oh, I can't read my, to have the life of your dreams in any way that you wish, and there'll be no what I wrote down is another thing you and I talked about on our productive walk yesterday for the previewing of this video. Tax people, because I said to you, like, I don't know if it's only in the movies. I don't think so, though. I think that if you suddenly in Canada anyway, if you suddenly start making, I go from like normal sort of corporate job type lifestyle to like all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying? Like lavish lifestyle. There's some department like in taxes, Canada Revenue or something that goes, where are you getting all that money from? And they look into you. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
So I was joking about that yesterday. Like, how do I come back with and create my money so that I can just retire?
Money.
I come back like this without Mr. Tax Department guy walking behind me. So yeah, so she said there'll be no repercussions from society. Like, I guess somehow they just won't see it. I won't come up with the...
Yeah, I mean, and she hasn't talked about being able to like poof create something. What she's talking about is being able to make money in our society in all kinds of amazing creative ways. And so we are going to be like entrepreneurs, I guess, of some.
Yes, but like I'm independent on my own, whatever. I earn money for myself and pay for myself only now.
Yes.
And so, right, like if I'm going to be able to quit my job and sustain what I want, which is a slightly higher standard of living than I have right now. My standard of living's fine. But anyway, that I still wondered if there was going to be a like, but where are you getting that from? Because I don't want to move to a different 9 to 5. But anyway.
No, but maybe you're going to invent the next Cabbage Patch doll sensation.
Right. You're right.
That make a whole ton of money really quickly and just move on with your life.
Oh my goodness. There was a poster up at work one time, and well, somebody actually hand wrote it, and I took a picture of it, and it comes up in my memories every year, on Yeah. And it says, anytime somebody tells you your ideas are crazy, remember there's some millionaire walking around who invented the pool noodle.
Exactly. Like, you know, there's all you could
You're
bring
right.
something, who knows?
Okay. I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but here I but like this, okay, so I said to you before we started recording this that I called the last video Colleen's top 3 passions. Like that's what that's what we were discussing. And I said I didn't think we were gonna be able to top that this week, you know? Oh my goodness, so exciting. I'm sure there are others out there who are as excited about, this glimpse into what it's going to look like when we awaken, how we're going to help each other, what vulnerability with humanity does. And then my favorite part is like the last 20 minutes of this video, which is about how it's going to look to go back and forth. It's just so cool.
Yes.
So cool.
Yeah. And just this
Excited.
idea that this is going to start like just all these incredible things from the other side, being able to bring that into Earth in knowledge, in inventions, in like just wow. Like this is going to be so exciting.
And it's going to make all the work worth it, right? Like, so because, just because a whole bunch of high level souls came in and this one is well, maybe the fact that this experiment is the success one means like we've been through a lot and
Yes.
and cleared a lot of karma. And like, just because we're, the spirit, like spiritual people or whatever, doesn't mean it. Okay. So the whole reason Cindy and I I'm not going to tell the whole story, but the whole reason Cindy and I had such a deep discussion on our walk, I guess we already had the walk planned when the thing happened to me,
Yeah.
but something happened to me yesterday that brought up a whole bunch of karma and stuff and emotions and just, can I say crap on YouTube? That I had to work through, and it was awful, and it was a recurring theme of something that keeps coming up in my life, and that I am studied enough on karma and spirituality to know that means I got to do what I described at the end of some of our videos, and on Cindy's channel she describes about how to work through your karma, right? Like you got to feel it's fine. But then we went on this walk together, and Cindy just always helps me to just experience it at a thank you for being my soul friend. Because from not wallowing in it, like I talked about, right? So we talked at a higher level where I figured I was looking for the light instead, but it was so really hard. And I actually went back into it just a little bit this morning, because there's stuff goes on in our life.
Yeah.
But all this, I'm pointing at my notes, all this, what we heard today and what we've heard in this whole Earth's history series, like about what's coming in the future, it makes it worth it,
Yes.
That's why we're doing all this work and clearing the karma so that we can get to our awakening, so that all this, so that I can come in with my bag full of cash and live the life of my dreams. Quit my
Very cool.
8:30 to 4:30. Yeah. Does Pele have more to add or?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
she's not done.
Oh, jeepers, sorry.
That's okay. Well,
Well,
some people say they don't like it, they don't want it to stop. So I have a feeling this one's going on.
I was just gonna say, so I have a hang up about long videos. Like I don't watch, I've told Cindy I wouldn't watch us, but actually once I saw us, I would probably watch us. I don't watch hour-and-a-half long videos. Like that's a movie.
Yeah.
And I don't watch movies. I binge watch episodes. I like shorter. And so I'm a little self-conscious about it. And then in the comments, I keep seeing comments, thank you, because it really changed it for me about you didn't even want it to end, or that I shouldn't worry about how long the video is. So have at her, Pele. Let's go.
That's right. Let's go. See what else. Diving back in. Okay, this is Pele again. This will be the last segment. Now, I'm going to share the really good stuff. Oh my. I will start with your relationships and your pets. People will again choose different things. Some people will choose to end certain relationships, and others will choose to stay and work through the relationship with the person who is not yet awakened. This will again be a choice from love and not a choice of responsibility. There is no need to make a choice you do not wish to make. That won't even be something you consider. Once you are fully awake and aware, you will understand that choices made out of a sense of duty or responsibility or honor are not really something that happens on this side of awareness. That is not to say that choices and actions don't carry honor. They just aren't made for that purpose. They are made from love. And so honor is a natural part of making a decision from love. So some relationships will remain and others will change. Your family will still be around you if that is what you wish to experience. Your pets are a bit different. Your pets are somewhat like the sun, in that the sun will be changing, and the experience each person has with the sun will become an individual experience based on their own growth at that moment. So, your pets are a complex being on Earth. This is true for all animals on Earth. This is why people will begin to have incredible experiences with wild animals as this awakening process unfolds. Pets and animals are complex beings of light within Earth's experience. Your pets are already awake in this complex way. Once you awaken, you will have an awakened experience with your pets. However, people around them who are not awakened will have their familiar experience with your pets. Your pets and other animals will experience you as you experience them. This is the magic of love energy. This is the magic of Earth's experience in an awakened state. There is so much more to explain about this complex experience, as it will become more and more evident to you that many things in your life will have this kind of complex feeling to them. Mother Earth herself is in an awakening process. Once she awakens fully, she will also enter this complex state of being, and she will appear to some in an awakened state, and she will appear to others in a familiar state. This is happening with the sun, and it will happen with Mother Earth, and it will happen with all the animals on Earth, and it will happen with all the trees on Earth. And with that, she's dropping her mic and leaving the building.
Oh, I love it when you said that. I rushed and she mic drop and she's out.
Yes.
Ah. That's so funny because at the very beginning, I am going to comment on all that, but before Cindy and I came in, once again, we looked at Cindy checked to see if there was a message, and Pele just said, we're going to have fun again today. And I said that Pele, when I said that she wasn't going to top last week's message for me, that Pele probably said, hold my beer. And here we go. Like Pele, never again, ever again, Pele, will I think that you're not going to have an astounding message that tops all of the ones before that. Sorry, Pele. My respect was always there, but now, like, yeah, I get it.
And this is the energy of Pele. This is what I love about her.
She's dropped her mic and left the building.
She's fantastic at just this, like this energy. Like, I don't know if you can feel it, but I can so feel it.
Yes.
She loved it. This is her playground. Like, she loves this kind of, anyway, yeah.
Yeah, well, just your angels are the ones that I have been with you, been getting message from for the longest of all the beings that I've been getting any sort of messages from. Like, they come through Cindy. But anyway, your angels are the loving and so kind and so detailed, which is a me thing, which I like, and just all the things. Like, I love hearing from your angels. And but Pele, like, can we have dinner next Thursday?
Exactly, right?
Like, I want to hang out with Pele.
Exactly.
Like,
she's it's that fiery energy. Like, she's just got sass,
Somebody referred to me in the comments as having sass, and I thought, I don't know if you understand what a deep compliment that is. Because I am so anyway, yeah, exactly. That's why I want to be Pele's best, not you. I want to be Pele's best friend. So anyway,
she's awesome.
But this part at the end, so again, with references, now they're throwing back to you. It's so cool how they're crossing over between the channels and your readings and everything. You're like, I'm talking about your Lady of the Force 444 channel, this Out of This World channel, and some of your private readings that you've told me. She doesn't tell me details about who they're for or anything, but just things that you've learned.
The general information that comes through.
How they're crossing it. So, because Cindy just did yesterday. Yeah, about the sun. So what they're referring to about the sun, you can go over to Cindy's, and there's a video she made. It won't be yesterday by the time this posts, but anyway, about how we're going to change our experience with the sun. But this information that she gave at the end here about all of it, pets, yay! So Lola's coming, Lola's. I knew Lola was already awake. Like I knew Lola's my little Chorky, Chihuahua Yorkie, who's my buddy. And I just have always known that she's coming with me in some way, you know what I mean? And Lola's sassy too, by the way.
Yes, she is. Oh, yes.
She's really not mean or anything like that, but she's definitely got personality. And okay, sorry, but what I got at the end there was all of it. We're going to each experience it in our own way, like the Mother Earth and at our level of awareness. Because like if I'm going to experience, I don't know, she alluded there maybe that the trees really will like actually talk to me, like with the lips on the trees, talking to me. That doesn't mean that somebody who isn't quite at the same level of awakening is going to walk by and there's lips on the tree and they fall over and have a. They're not going to experience that, right?
Perhaps it's more telepathic.
You know me, I'm very literal. Yours are going to be telepathic because that's what you believe it's going to be.
Touche.
There's going to be a day because we all experience it in our own way.
You can create lips on a tree. That's
walking my path down there, and all of a sudden a tree is going to go, hello.
Yes, touche, my friend. There you go. I might just do that just for fun one day, but yeah.
There you go. Anyway, I love that everybody's going to experience all of these few things that I love making you laugh. It's true. Yeah, that everybody's going to experience things in their own way and that we can have is fantastic. That's what we just illustrated. Because like, you're like, oh yeah, right. Why wouldn't there be lips if she wants lips?
Exactly. You can create it.
So, right. It's going to be as fantastical or grounded,
as magical and out there or
as we want,
and
we know I want magical, crazy, astounding, so that's what I'm going to experience.
Exactly. Like, so how freaking cool is that going to be? So like maybe the moose will all become unicorns for me if that's what I want.
Exactly. There you go.
Anyway, awesome. I do feel like I just know that the earth can be and is really such a magical place beyond what we can even imagine. So yeah, it's gonna be wild.
I just got a lovely picture of a moose unicorn. That's such a Canadian image. Moose, well, I'm sure there's moose other places, but they're a big Canadian thing, right?
Yeah.
Moose unicorn.
And we have them right here.
Not the unicorn type, but maybe next week.
Yeah. Yeah, well, because Mike is my husband. He's a moose whisperer for sure. He has a wonderful connection with them.
I've lived in well, so has your husband, but I've lived in Northern Ontario. Some people have asked because Pele said that an area of an anchor was around here, and we have previously revealed that we live in North. Like, I'm not telling you where I live, It's YouTube, but we live in Northern Ontario, and I've lived in Northern Ontario. Okay, all my life, I've been in the forest, in nature, all my life. My parents took me. I was tiny, and I have seen moose. I'm not talking about driving and they're down and you pull over. That's not what I'm talking about. You see that all the time. But like encountered moose. Well, I was still driving, but I was like right beside him 4 times in my life.
Yeah.
And like they just don't come across. And like your husband, it's nuts the amount of moose he comes across, and they just sit there and look at him.
Yes.
Like, the fear-based people are, are like, but moose can charge you, and attack. Not your husband.
No.
They just look at him.
And if I go out with him, they don't show themselves. It's when he's alone. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
Like that. I've seen them maybe 2 or 3 times with him. It's when he goes out alone. So he goes out on a snow machine and just goes for a ride, and he'll come across them.
So there's going to be one day that it's going to be a moose unicorn, or he might see a regular moose and then you'll look over and be like, what's that? Depends where you guys are. Any level of awareness.
But very beautiful about the pets. Like that is just so spectacularly
Right.
beautiful, right?
And all the animals, because people have commented worrying about,
Yes.
concerned about wildlife, about what do I call it? Rescued pet, like,
Yes.
and all that kind of thing. And so I guess there'll be no more like endangered species and all that stuff too, because anyway, I'm going to review that part later about the animals, but because all I got in there was that I was right that Lola's coming with me. Like there's a lot
Yeah.
of information coming in.
Yeah. And then we'll have if they're awakened, but they relate to you the way we relate to them. So if we are awakened, then we will relate to them on an awakened level. And if we're not awakened, then we will relate to them on a non-awakened level. They
Yeah.
meet us where we are.
Yes. So when I'm out on a walk with Lola, she'll be like fully talking to me. But when we walk by somebody on the street that isn't, then she's just gonna like be her usual
They'll
barky.
just hear barking.
Yeah. So funny. I
Ah,
love this. This has been fantastic.
this was a fun one for sure.
Thank you so much, Pele. And thank you, Cindy, for channeling all of that. It's just so amazing.
Yes.
And thank you for joining us. And like about the comment, let them roll because it's a lot of fun. We read all of your comments. There's no way that we have time because thank you for so many.
Yeah.
And also, if you want to know if we're posting, we post about once a week, and it's been pretty consistent lately, but it's not always exactly once a week.
Yeah.
So you could subscribe. Also, like, I'm not a big salesperson on here, but liking and subscribing will help move the algorithm and move us out so more people will get all of these messages. But thank you for your engagement and for your comments. We love that you're joining us here, and we hope that we'll see you on the next video, and I hope that you have a great day.
Yes. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.